Hey everyone, Controller Scott back here at LAX, and today I'm flying to Phoenix, Arizona in United Airlines first class. My question is first class worth it on such a short flight? Let's find out.
United 2374, wind 230 at Niner, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff. Hi everyone, I'm Scott. I'm an air traffic controller by day and a travel enthusiast year-round. I love premium travel, and when possible, I love to leverage my credit card benefits for exciting trips. So come along for the journey. If you enjoy my content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, comment below and let me know what you think of this experience. It is much appreciated, and I am very grateful for your support. Keep watching until the end of this video to find out where I'm headed next. With my away carry-on luggage and backpack, I am ready to embark on a 2-day trip to Phoenix, Arizona. That bag tag you see is from the metal of an America West Airlines Airbus 320. Do you remember them? They were my favorite airline growing up. As I cross over the road above from the parking lot, I am about to take a journey on United Airlines today. United operates in Terminals 7 and 8 at LAX. It is their smallest hub in their network, but they still offer plenty of flights, including very long ones internationally. Now, first-class passengers just like myself, United Elites, and United Club Visa credit card holders get to use the United Premier check-in area if needed. I have no bags to check today, but if I did, United currently allots 2 bags at 70 pounds each with a first-class ticket. At LAX, there are also dedicated check-in counters for United's most frequent travelers and long-haul international business class passengers. As I check the status of my flight, it's time to head to security so I can show you my first stop today, the United Club. The United Club lounge at LAX is huge, but oftentimes gets very crowded. I will let you know how I was able to access this lounge at the end of this video without any additional out-of-pocket expense. Coming up the escalator treats guests to panoramic views of the airline ramps and part of the South Complex at LAX. In addition, complimentary coffee and fruit is offered here. The lounge was crowded when I got here today, although you would never know that when checking in. The seating though is plentiful and offers different types of seating throughout the lounge. United has a big flight board to track departures and arrivals. Below that is their magazine rack. I took United's Hemispheres magazine with me as they only had a few left. I will hold on to my copy because as of October 2024, they will be the last US airline not to print a paper magazine. Now, when you go to one of these airport lounges, you have to wonder about the food and drink selection. United clubs, in my experience, tend to lag with their food options. More on this in just a moment. These little snacks and flavored water options though were nice. I took advantage of the pineapple flavored water. Before I get to the food selection, I must take you out to my favorite part of this lounge, the Sky Deck. They are not the only lounge to have this at LAX. The Delta Sky Club has one of these too. In my opinion, Delta's is a step above this one. You can watch my review of that lounge from my flight to Salt Lake City. This is still a very nice place to sit outside at LAX as it has great weather for much of the year. As I go back inside, the United Club's bar comes into view. United offers some complimentary alcoholic and specialty beverages. There are other premium beverages though that are offered for a fee. I got here as breakfast was being swapped out for lunch. The line starts off with this Coca-Cola dispensing machine. Next to that is the coffee machine. United partners with Illy Coffee. Next is the water bottle refilling station, and then come the food options. I don't mean to be too critical, but I was definitely not interested in much of this. If you have dietary restrictions such as being gluten-free, there are not many options. The taco bar here looks decent, but the Delta Sky Club's taco bar at LAX looks so much better than this one. The charcuterie section I think was a nice option. The salad bar looked okay. The end of the line has more coffee and soda machines. I wound up getting just several pieces of cheese from the charcuterie section, and that was about it.
So that's a wrap here at the United Club here at LAX. I'm sitting here on the porch outside of a very unique perspective for lounge purposes. There's another airport lounge here that I visited recently, as you probably remember, the Delta Sky Club in Terminal 3, that also has a sky deck as well. But the food here was pretty average. If you have dietary restrictions, it's going to be really tough to find good stuff here to eat. But the employees were absolutely friendly and great. I really appreciate them. But hey, I got a flight to catch. Let's go to gate 81 and let's check out that 737 MAX 9 going to Phoenix, Arizona in first class.
As I get one more glimpse of the great views of the front of this lounge, it's time to head down the escalator and get a good view of the Boeing 737 MAX 9 take me to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. November 37542 was around 21 months old at the time of this recording. United does a good job informing their passengers about flight status and boarding times at the gate. And if you're an elite member looking to see if your first class upgrade is processed, the board will let you know. First class upgrades are difficult to get on many flights these days. Not only are there a lot of elite members, but the airlines tend to sell many of these seats now, including mine. This is going to be a really full flight, so let's get in line and get on this plane. Isabella. United has 6 boarding groups, identified by the blue and green lanes. Only Group 1 boards through the blue lane. Groups 2 through 6 board through the green lane. As a first-class passenger on United, I got to board in Group 1. United's high elite 1K members board ahead of Group 1, as well as the super elite global services members, active military, and pre-boarding passengers. Today I am in seat 3A, right in the middle of this 5-row first class. In a 2x2 configuration, the recliners are typical in what you would see in a first class seat in the United States. There is a small storage area, the remote control for the TV screen if you want to use that, and charging outlets to the side of the seat. The TV screen is a touchscreen as well. Above the outlets is the tray table and the armrest. No need to use this for this 1-hour flight, but there's a small area to hold drinks, which I will use for this flight. There is more storage on the other side of the seat, primarily for magazines and a button for the seat recline. The legroom at the seat is very good. I had no problem putting my backpack underneath the seat in front of me. I still had space to stretch over it. I'm about 6 feet tall. The seat back pocket has the Hemispheres magazine, which will no longer be printed as of October 2024, as the magazine will be digital form only. The seat backs on these seats are adjustable on both sides and they're easy to move. Above the seat are individual air vents and lights. This aircraft also has modern overhead bins. Before departure, the first class passengers were offered a choice of water or Prosecco in a plastic cup. I chose the Prosecco and it was great. Once airborne, drinks are served in glassware in first class for the rest of the flight. United's seatback entertainment is very good, but not every aircraft has them, at least yet. They'll let you know what to expect on the flight and the option to customize your entertainment experience. With that said, it is time to depart for Phoenix. However, before we leave, am I reading that right? 116 degrees and cloudy? Yikes. Well, yours truly grew up in the Phoenix area, so I'm used to that heat. That will sure set us up for a bumpy descent into Phoenix. Nevertheless, I am looking forward to sharing my flight experience with you and the joys of sitting up in first class, even if it's just an hour flight. As many days are like this in LA, it is a great day to fly. I can never get tired of partying over the ocean at LAX. As I view United's movie map as my flight departs over the Pacific Ocean, I am in for another window seat treat. When departing out of LAX, to me, it always seems like it takes forever to get out of the populated areas of the LA area. On a short flight like this, around 1/4 of the flight time appears to be flying out of this area alone. During this time, the friendly United flight attendant in first class came around offering drinks and premium snacks for this flight. I chose another glass of Prosecco along with some delicious peppered almonds. The plastic cups are out and the glassware is in. I say cheers to this great flight ahead on United. As I get my attention back to United's moving map, in my experience it is among the best, if not the best of any airline I have flown. It will even tell you about towns, cities, and landmarks along the way and how far you are from them. The map is very interactive. It will tell you how fast and high the plane is, as well as the direction the airplane is going. United also has very good Wi-Fi from my experience. It costs $8 to $10 per domestic flight in the United States, but if you happen to have T-Mobile as your cell phone provider, you can access the internet for free. As my flight passes over the Palm Springs area and the Colorado River, it means it is already time to make our descent into Phoenix. This time of year, it is common to see a lot more clouds than these as it is monsoon season. Today though, despite the weather staying cloudy at the start, it was nothing but sunshine. As we set up to land, I will say that despite the short length of this flight, the service was excellent. You will not get any meal service on an hour flight like this one, but the alcoholic beverages and the premium snacks are complimentary to first class passengers. The flight attendant was great asking if anyone wanted seconds or thirds refilling their drinks. Our final approach was bumpy in the 110-degree heat, and that's to be expected. As we passed by Arizona State University, my alma mater, this flight must come to a close. I really enjoyed flying on this United Boeing 737 MAX 9, and I get to fly on this aircraft type again for the return flight back to LAX, so stay tuned for that. For now though, it is time to step off this plane and enjoy the unique and pristine scenery of the Sonoran Desert and the Arizona high country over the next couple of days. You can feel the heat walking onto the jetway, but that won't stop me from having a great time. From the saguaro cacti, to the desert mountains, and the desert sand, this is what I grew up seeing during my childhood. It was great to be back in Arizona, and it was even better taking a drive up Interstate 17 to the higher elevations of the state.
Okay everyone, back here at Sky Harbor at Terminal 3 for my return flight back to LAX today from Phoenix. Security was a breeze, so let's check out the United Club.
As I look at the departure board for my return flight back to LAX, I want to comment on how impressed I am with Phoenix Sky Harbor's Terminal 3. The terminal was renovated several years ago and it looks great. Before I go to the United Club today, I want to mention that Terminal 3 has a Priority Pass lounge available with the Escape Lounge. I have been to this Escape Lounge before. The service here was 5 stars, but the food, not so. The Phoenix United Club is a fairly new lounge, opened in September of 2022. There was an old United Club before United moved to Terminal 3, so it took a little while for this lounge to open. The United Club at Phoenix is next to Gate E3, where my flight to LAX happens to be departing from. This lounge is nowhere near as big as the LAX lounge, as Phoenix is not a United hub, but it does not need to be big. It never got too crowded in here during my stay, which was a big plus. I am sure there are times when this lounge fills up, but I will take advantage of the space today. The lounge has the normal variety of seating available with power outlets. They also have clean and modern restrooms as well as a wellness room. The food affair here is much the same as the United Club at LAX, so if you have dietary restrictions, this may not be the greatest place to eat. However, I will show you something in just a moment that may sway your decision differently. For me, while the food smelled and looked good, most of it was not something I would typically eat, so I just had a small plate to eat today. This lounge has a typical bar where you can order complimentary house liquor or pay for premium beverages. They also have flavored water off to the side. Now, if you are not tempted or interested in the United Club food, perhaps you might be interested in making your own gelato cup. I certainly was. I have never seen one of these before at any lounge, let alone a United Club. I for sure wanted to try this machine out. I was super curious. The directions are stated here, so let me see if I can do this correctly. Today's only flavor was chocolate, despite what was listed. It still sounded good to me. First is to shake the cup. Next is to insert the cup, but look what we have here. Someone forgot to take their cup out from the last usage. Time to put my cup in and let the machine make fresh gelato. After chilling, whipping, and crafting, it is time to see the end result. It's time to serve, but make sure you don't do what I did. Have a cup ready so the gelato doesn't pour out. And don't worry, I did clean up after my spill. Once the machine is done making the gelato, open the case and get rid of the cup. And now it is time to enjoy. This gelato is really good. My question is this. Why does the Phoenix United Club have this, not LAX? I'm assuming because of the amount of people that go through LAX, but let me know in the comments and what you think. As I was finishing my cup of gelato, my plane taking me back to LAX was in view. This is tail number November 17564, a Boeing 737 MAX 9, which was 13 months old at the time of this recording. Since my plane is here, I will have to wrap up my time here at the United Club at Phoenix and get ready to board flight 452 back to LAX. I had a nice time here at the lounge, and the gelato helped. As I get in the blue lane to board, I eventually arrive at my seat for this flight, seat 2F. The pre-departure beverage service was the same as my outbound flight. This time, I chose a cup of water. Now, I have a question for you, and you can leave your opinions about this in the comments below. In between the two seats is additional floor space. Very commonly, I see passengers in first class use this shared space to store their carry-on bags instead of underneath their own seat, especially a backpack. I particularly don't mind it, but I do think someone should ask first, as it is shared space in between the two seats. And there's plenty of overhead bin space in first class if the bag does not fit beneath the seat. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. As my flight taxis out, we pass Terminal 4, which has most of Sky Harbor's flights. American and Southwest have big operations here in Phoenix. Today's departure on runway 25 right is a bumpy one. It was 110 degrees outside, but it was otherwise a nice day to fly. As my flight gets off the ground and I have United's movie map up, it is time once again for the beverage and snack service on this flight. Today, I got the peppered almonds and a glass of sparkling water. I really enjoyed it. As usual, I was having a great flight in a premium cabin. This quick hour flight brings much of the same scenery on the ground I showed you on my outbound flight. This time, I'm doing it in reverse instead. And before you know it, we are descending over the miles and miles of populated area of Southern California. As we get a great view of downtown LA, I want you to notice something following us. If you look real closely, do you see that plane turning right in behind us? That is an United Airlines Airbus 380. The double-deckered plane is setting up to land on the North Complex as we get to set up to land on runway 25 left on the South Complex. What I did not realize is that after we landed at LAX, I'd have plenty of time to do some plane watching as our gate was occupied for over 20 minutes. This gave me a great opportunity to get some great images of this ginormous aircraft, along with some others too. The wait gave me an unexpected chance to record some amazing video of LAX. Now that my flight has an available gate, it is finally time to wrap things up for this trip. Overall, it was a great experience, and I'm very appreciative and grateful for all of it. Okay everyone, I'm back in my car here at LAX, but before I go home, I just want to give you a brief review of these flights. I really enjoyed them. Obviously it's first class. I flew, again, United from LAX to Phoenix and back, round trip, and I did it on credits from my credit card from American Express, and the lounge access came from my United credit card. So that's how I paid for this. I didn't come out anything extra out of pocket for this trip, so that was great. Would I pay out of pocket for a flight like this? Probably not for an hour flight. It would have been $340 round trip for this flight. I would have stuck for economy if it came out of pocket on my own, especially since it's just an hour flight. But if you're able to get upgraded, or you have credits that you can use that are expiring perhaps, and you wanted to get a first class flight experience, even if it's just an hour and you've never done it before, have at it. I think it's great. And if you just like flying just like I do, well, I say have at it as well. All the experiences are great when flying first class as far as I'm concerned. I really haven't had a bad flight on United personally. I want to thank all the employees I dealt with during this journey, from the lounges to the airplane, the pilots, the flight attendants. Everybody were great. Everybody was great. I really can't thank everyone enough for this experience. With that said, I really appreciate you watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe as well. It means the world to me. And I will see you folks in the next video. Be safe out there, and for now, so long.